Here's another reason why AI art can't really do production right. You want to draw like this, you don't want to draw like that. AI will do whatever the fuck it wants every time. You can't tell it not to do something. You can say it and it will say I won't do it, and then it will just do it all over again. And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Sketchcraft Shout-Out. I am Rob D, aka Sketchcraft, and joining me today is my buddy Uncle Jerk from Jerk Comics. What's up, Uncle Jerk?
What's up, guys and girls?
You know what's up, man? Mtichells versus the Machines. That's what's up, dude.
I'm like super Kevin Smithy, like admittedly, but like, yeah, no, I cried the first time I watched this movie. It's beautiful. I watched it with my daughter. Like, if I had $1 for every time that I've watched this with my family, I could pay off my wife's back surgery right now.
Oh no, got dark.
I'm
everybody.
sorry. Come
Go
on.
buy Uncle Jerk's commissions. All right, by the time you guys watch this, he's gonna need the money. But this art book is hardbound, decently thick. It's very artsy in spots, right? Like you got these full. Look at that. Look at that. Ultra panoramic Midwest drawing, right? The most uninteresting back road in America.
Looks like my town.
And then Gravity Falls shows up, right?
Yeah, this movie was great, man. Everything about it was just so well done. I'd seen the extended version. I haven't watched it with the commentary. I just found out they did a commentary track for this, and I was so excited. I can't wait to get it.
Who did the voice of the dad?
Yeah, it's Danny McBride, definitely.
Look at that. Control Alt Escape would have been a clever. That's that dad. That'd be a great comic book.
Dude, when I saw this, I was like, man, I really want to go read the graphic novel. And I found it wasn't a graphic novel. And I was like, okay, wow.
The only problem with this is it doesn't work because all the tech is flat screens and there's no keyboards.
Yeah.
So I don't think kids would know.
I was gonna
like we're this set in the 80s or the 90s, right?
Which this is like either the best thing that most people say about this movie or the worst thing they say about this movie is it does feel very much like an 80s road trip film, like crossed with next gen animation and stuff. That's what I loved most about it, but like I do hear that.
What's wrong with that though?
But see, that's my thing is I'm like, if you can compare it to Vacation, I don't really know, what you're.
Hey, did they not see that all the last 5 crappy Vacation movies?
I know I didn't.
So, at least someone did something right. So we're not gonna go every little zoomed in bit here. Let's just do somebody art. So the backstory on this is very in depth, folks. I mean, look how much shit's in here. They get into all the making of this stuff, and a lot of the Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs team, is involved in this.
Yeah, it was really cool because after Gravity Falls got done, they kind of asked him like, hey, would you be interested in doing like a feature-length film? And instead of like pitching something that he had, he like went on a road trip back to his family's hometown. And there is just like a heart and soul to this that sits on top of all the amazing, because they brought in so much stuff from the Into the Spider-Verse movies as far as like these incredible techniques that were developed, but the heart and soul that is underneath it is just as good as all of the animation stuff, in my opinion, at least.
It's so nice to draw like a bedroom and not be told you do too much.
Everything is super good. I don't know. It's the attention to detail.
It's nice to be on projects and you're not being told. Try less.
Dude, I'm not even. I'm gonna drop that. Yep.
This is a great family photo.
Oh man, I haven't seen any of these productions. I was gonna say, dude, I haven't seen any of these production stills. Dude, this is great, dude. Or well, I guess that pre-production art,
Let me zoom in. And I mean, just like cloud designs, I mean, this is always fun to do on any project. I mean, of this scope, everything has to be like figured out and designed, you know?
It's such a beautiful, like, is it a photo? Is it like an impressionist painting? Like, it's both. It's so
Well,
good.
part of it too, man, is like you got to design like how normal do we want the world to look, because that contrasted next to the craziness is going to make the difference, like in terms of like if you have an alien invasion or a robot invasion, you know, you probably need something very banal so it has stuff to
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the evil giant triangular robots with color light. If this was all in neon, it'd be 10 times harder to see that stuff or to contrast the two, you know.
Yeah,
So sometimes this stuff is handed to an artist and you're just like, can't believe I'm getting paid to do this. Like, all right, figure
until you see it on film, and then you're like, oh, this is why you pay people to do this. Yeah.
right. But it has to be figured out. All this stuff has to be figured out.
No,
It
yeah,
can't
that's what
just
I'm
be
saying. You
like,
watch the finished movie, and then you're like, oh, this is why you pay for that, because it's so much better,
Yeah.
dude. Just so much better.
yeah. You can't just mid-journey this stuff, guys. I know people think like that's they just type it in and I'll get this out. You won't get any of this stuff out, you know. Like iteration's a thing, dude. You know, that's the one thing like AI generated imagery takes away from you is iteration. There's no iteration. It's just I want more or less of it or something different. Like there's no I can take this, build off that, turn this into this idea.
Yeah, I was.
And I mean,
Go
this.
ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I was just looking at the robots, and I was like, one of the things that I loved most about it is when the robots start getting like they do different transformations and get blown apart and stuff. And I was looking at the process for how they did that. You know, they went back to the T1000 special effects and updated those for body, like they called it like body slicing, I think. That's where they came up with all the special effects. So these guys pulled from all the right freaking places.
These are color keys or color scripts. Like you tend to do like the whole script, you'll do like maybe like 20, 50 of these, and you break down key sequences into color bits. They used to be done by hand. I have the Pixar ones when they used to do them with pastel, 1 inch by 1 inch. We'll definitely cover that sometime.
Man, I bet that's gorgeous.
But these are meant to be these are to be the squint test.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
they definitely pass.
Yeah. And I mean in here, like especially like actually I think it's better if I don't zoom in. But like this squint and this is like normal, right? Yeah. Real world scenarios, and then when you know you got this squint, you know, and it's purple, right? Like there's no major purples in all the real world stuff, you know. It's only until you encounter technology you see that. So you can start to use color as a story,
you know, which they did really well. And like I love the Lynchian aspect. I know it's going to sound weird that I'm bringing up Lynch talking about Mtichells and the Machines, but like if you watch it, like there is a definite Lynchian influence with a color palette that means certain things in the movie.
Right.
So.
And this gets into just different ways to like 3D model stuff. This is a great piece of art right here.
So gorgeous. I love the lighting in this movie too. The way they handle lighting. Yeah.
This reminds me of the Light Expo. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's this big convention for artists in Anaheim every year. I always get, Robert, you going? I'm like, I'm not invited. Like, we could buy a table. I'm not to do what? Like, I don't know. But this is gorgeous. I love the tree designs too. Like
it's
like Gravity
Falls. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Theatric, but to the next step.
Integrated with Into the Spider-Verse and then taken to the next level.
See, Uncle Jerk, this is what I mean by when you take the television show and when you make a theatrical film, you just increase it a little bit further, or, you know, from the show. Like, I don't know, like Mask of the Phantasm, right? Like, you just take the designs of all that, but you have to scale it up for the big screen, man.
Yeah, no, I think this is a gorgeous example. Look at this. Like, that background is just so cool.
He does look like David Harbour.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I love and like the designs for this movie are really well done because I could just commiserate so much with the father in this.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like, because it's going to be in CGI, you can do more detailed character outfits, you know?
Oh, truth, yeah.
Like, all these little
Yep.
ruffles and loops and edges and stuff and frayed knees. Like, when it goes 2D, you have to really simplify that down 10 times more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a trade-off, you know. It's definitely a trade-off. And they did it right in Mitchells versus the Machines. And they didn't overdo it either.
He's wearing the moose shirt. Talk about vacation, right? The moose out front said.
I was like, the whole time when I was watching it, I was like, is this a vacation reference? And then at the end where they're doing the, I was like, yeah, okay, it is. It's definitely.
I used to think the Get Along Gang was the moose. Wally.
Oh yeah, yep.
If you remember Get Along Gang. And you know, doing this, even like this, you know, if you're developing a story, right, or a comic, wouldn't be a bad idea to say, hey, what if my characters went on a road trip, have nothing to do with the story, and you just recreated different photographs from their lives,
and
you know, it made a
yeah,
scrapbook.
and like watching the credits on this movie is a friggin' must. When I said that I like cried, I kind of teared up at the end, and then when I was watching the credits, that's when I cried because it was beautiful to see how much of this was like their actual life and how much it's really built on a breathable framework that has a living, beating heart underneath of it. That's it.
As a former clothing guy, this is some of my favorite thing to do, to draw like different outfits for the same
I was gonna say
character.
it's interesting to see with all these different designs how they kind of like toyed with the malleability of her sexuality in the film, because that's another thing they handled really freaking well.
Also, the sock puppet sleeve.
Oh yeah.
Different versions of that. And then this right here, you know, trying to get the line art and then the CG render.
Look how close they got. That is scary, dude.
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, that Katie poster is awesome. Drew, I want to see Drew. Oh dang it! Now I'm gonna.
It's a shame they don't sell these like at cons. You know what I mean? Like, or like that'd be a great.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
If I was the one who drew that, I would be.
I would be too. I'd be Tony Rodriguez. Like, I got a comic of it. Let's come on, bring it. Man, these are cool. I love, man. Look at how much personality these things have got. This reminds me of like back in the day when you watched a animated movie and people had real distinct personalities. I miss that so much. How much love went into this? It reminds me of like Don Bluth or something.
Little bit.
Not the style,
you know, honestly,
just the personality.
I think if I was working, you could clown me for this, but when it comes to personality and 2D animation of that era, I think of Bebe's Kids a little bit. You know, like Bebe's Kids really did do something like the Disney films weren't doing. You know?
That was definitely when Disney films were dying. That definitely, no doubt. See, that's so cool. Like, man, I love how they integrate, and the way they integrate all of this stuff. They came up with their own. I referred to it at the beginning, but they call it like Katie Vision, and a lot of the like shorts and memes and like these illustrations and stuff are popped up and put into the 2D framework of the film. And the way they pulled that off, I don't know if I've ever seen a movie. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie where they did it so successfully as they did in this.
Yeah, right. Let alone in 2D or you know what I mean, in
animation at all. Yeah.
And this is like his his, taking his body shape and expanding it with the mesh. Whenever I draw meshes around my figures and silhouettes, I think people think that they're just adding grid lines to everything. That's what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, you're really trying to figure out how you're stretching the topography, because that's going to affect how you color, shade, everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like it's a one thing whenever I'm like, I don't do it anymore, but like I used to help some of my artist friends a bit, and then we'd get to this phase and I could just see them adding grid lines on figures. I'm like, are you just doing that because it looks cool, or you think you have to do that? Do you understand what you're doing? Like, why?
Because how to draw the Marvel way. Come on, Rob.
You want to know how dumb I was when I was in the 7th grade? My buddy handed me that book, and I thought each pose was something you had to do every time. I didn't realize you had to like build
on top of it.
Yeah, I drew the Spider-Man punch all 5 times. Like,
oh my god, I'm not alone.
Someone at school is like, no man, you're supposed to like. I'm like, oh, you're supposed to build up, huh? I mean, I was in art class and my art teacher never explained nothing to me. So
welcome to art class in public school.
Yeah, I mean, even the cell phone cases have to be designed. Bags have to have textures, and it's always best. This is something like, remember when I was in clothing and when I first started doing like men's apparel, everyone would physically draw sketches for the design. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so I would start blobbing in color and like planning out more like this from the go, because I'm like, the final thing's gonna have color and shape and pop. How am I drawing this? Doesn't mean anything. And that was like man, they didn't get that, like that was a lost thought to them. It took a while before I turned it in. Finally, I just grayscaled my sketches so they wouldn't be able to tell. Then I just turned the color on 2 hours later instead of because it just went beyond. But yeah, I love this clothing stuff.
So well done, dude. And everything speaks to everybody's personality so well, because it's like you can have really great character designs and you can have all of this great emotion and emotivity, like making everyone emotive and stuff. But if you don't have a wardrobe that fits that, and you're not utilizing all of the I don't even like the advantages of digital animation in that way, it's a huge missed opportunity. And this movie capitalized on that at every single turn, man.
Here's another reason why AI art can't really do production right. These are what we call the do's and don'ts, right?
Yep.
The fail Bible, right? You want to draw like this, you don't want to draw like that. AI will do whatever the fuck it wants every time. You can't tell it not to do something. You could say it and it will say I won't do it, and then it will just do it all over again. And every production has this stuff. The Simpsons, everything has this. Like even the hair. Look at the hair. Like here, left, right tuft to show both eyebrows. But you have to lift the tuft so you can see. Here it's covered. You think AI is going to stay on that?
I'm sure it will, Rob. Chat GPT itself is just so reliable. Come on.
Can't even not produce M dashes. My favorite was a buddy of mine sends me all his texts in GPT now, right? God. I could tell. And I was talking to him about something, and he kept sending me this text where it was like, it would be like, this is a dinosaur. This isn't a dinosaur. This is, fossil fuel revolution. It was always, this isn't, and then this is. I'm like, you don't talk like that. What the fuck is this? This isn't, this is shit. What, did you just pick up a new phrase here? Like, what the fuck is that? And then sure enough, like a few weeks ago, somewhere online, they were saying like, that's a GPT thing. I was like, no shit. Like, that makes sense. I was like, decided to go talk to him. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me with your stupid fucking GPT.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
It's impersonal.
I'd rather you send emojis, rather decipher that shit. Monchi.
I love Monchi.
I
was gonna say dog, bread, dog, bread, dog. Dude. Wow, that looks crick-falusi to me.
When the pug stuff, the first thing started taking off on the internet back in 2013, I did a little animatic for Bat Pug. It was like Alfred's pug. You know, when Batman leaves, he suits up to take care of the house and shit. And my art director was not impressed.
And like it's kind of weird, but like getting back to like more like the realism and the insanity that was kind of applied to this movie. This is the first time ever in animation that I'm aware of where a dog was cast as a dog, because this is Doug the Pug.
That's fun. I like this one's rendered in marker.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Got it. Top Dog, right? This is the Steve Buscemi, right? The Boardwalk Empire. The Maryland.
Oh, man, they did such a good job. Man, this is such a good movie. It's like the one thing my daughter ever begs me to put on that we've watched a million times that I don't complain and bellyache about. I'm like, oh yeah, we can watch that. We can do that.
Legalize freedom.
Some of the stuff they snuck in, I was super surprised this movie did not get thrown under the woke train.
This is the shitty house that Marty McFly lives in.
Yeah.
With the giant electrical tower.
Grow up under electrical lines.
You could hear the humming. When we were looking for a house about 10 years back, they took me to a place that was lovely, but it had that out there. I'm like, nope. And the woman looking at me was like, "Well, it's not a big deal." I'm like, "Nope."
Really?
Nope. Yeah. No, not doing that. Not doing that.
Look at that freaking living room. It's
I know,
lived
this
in.
This is the kind of stuff I love doing, my man.
I know it is. It's the stuff that you should be allowed to do more of. That looks so lived in.
No one likes to look. They don't know where to look.
I know. My eye is confused now.
I don't know where to go. I'm lost all over the page.
It looks real. It looks real, Rob. I don't know. I'm so confused. Look at that bedroom. Like, oh my God, dude. It just says so much about her as a person. Like, she is a backdrop in her own backdrop. That's so fucking well
I remember
done.
when Christmas lights went up in my bedroom. My dad was pissed. I told you the thing I did too was like, I got the Ziploc baggies that fit my comic books pretty good, and then I staple gunned the Ziploc baggies like around this way.
Oh, cool.
On the walls and put the comics in them. You know, so I had them up like a kind of comic shop kind of way, and then I put the lights like. Yeah.
That's awesome.
My dad was like, "You staple gun what?" You know.
Oh yeah. What you do to my walls?
Yeah. Now I get it. I own a house.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would say to my daughter. You did what to your walls?
To be fair, now we got way more options for sticking things to walls.
Thank God for command strips.
Yeah, we didn't have command strips in 1992.
Yeah. No, we did not.
The dinosaur room is great too. Like.
That's awesome. I love how he's got his head taped on.
Also, the giant paper mache planets are pretty good. He's got the soda collection from around the world. Every kid's got one of those now.
Back in my day, they were glass bottles, and they.
My dad was not letting me keep glass in the room.
Oh my God! No. My mom would have beat me.
I like how the bad family's called the Posies. Posers.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
I always get so dang caught up in this movie. I don't pay attention to some of the smaller details that I should have.
This is one we went through this too. Like the Zim book had a lot of this great stuff.
I was just getting ready to say how much the old man looks like a Zim character too.
Yeah. Somewhere between like, you know, like if South Park characters grew legs.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I love how much detail went into all of the different knockoff brand design stuff in this too.
Oh, right. Artists love doing that, dude.
Well, but seeing that
Mi-
follow through,
Mind
I was gonna
draft.
say, yeah, but seeing that followed through in the movie is fairly rare, and they did a really good job.
So then we get to like the car design. Like, what are they gonna drive? Like a van? You know, here's like a normal sedan, and they went with this. I'm telling you, this all comes from. Remember what was that? What was that? The political cartoonist that Watterson was a fan of, and then Watterson went and did a comic strip, and
Oh,
then this guy went and did a Nerds or Runts. Was it Runts? Something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Watterson did, but Watterson got that from this artist because he was doing political cartoons forever. He used to do this sort of thing back in the 70s, you know.
Man,
Yeah.
no love for those guys, dude. No love.
No, I mean maybe they get tired. Maybe it's because the politics part of it, you know. But if you just look at the
I was gonna
drawing,
say I don't
right?
even agree with the politics, but I can agree with that crap, dude. Like, come on, or it's not funny. Like, I get that too, but there's the artistry aspect of stuff.
Different buffets, gas stations. I mean, there's so many locations in this film. I can just imagine the art department going, how many? You know,
Man, I hadn't thought
that's
about
the
that.
problem. When yeah, right. So you're like, I'm gonna make a road trip animated film. You have to realize how much different shit you gotta fucking design, dude.
Yeah, because you're not scouting locations or anything. You got to build everything from the ground. And man, that'd be a pain in the butt. And so much stuff has like
I
dual lighting, like daytime lighting and nighttime lighting to it too. And
right.
that's hitting that is hard.
It first dawned on me when I was watching the making of a Goofy movie back in the 90s, and I'm like, oh, this is a budget film. I'm like, how is a road trip movie a budget film? If you got to have like, way more locations than if this all took place in Goofberg, where, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It could be like the same building drawn several different times, you know? But
Talk about another good movie that no one talks about.
no, I believe me, man. I've been on that film since day one.
Dude, same here, man. I went from Goof Troop straight to that, and I was like, way to not let me down, guys.
Yeah, brilliant animation too. You know the book Black Sad?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he worked on that. That was one of his first
Oh,
movies.
okay.
This is my favorite when they do like the isometric designs for the shops and stuff.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
Man.
Got like a little dinosaur wall here for photography.
Sorry, I keep getting lost in all these tiny details. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is way above and beyond. But this is what you need to really make something shine.
This is always fun to do. Like design a
Yeah, I was gonna say
game.
design your own claw game, dude.
Yeah.
And the 3D puzzles and stuff, man.
Yeah, 3D
That looks
puzzles.
exact.
These are all those like toys that are at like the zoo. You
That's
can't afford.
exactly
They're,
what
like,
I was getting ready to
$200.
say, dude. Those are all, they look so much like the models where I'd be like, Mom, and she's like, you had better get out of my face with that $90 3D puzzle that's 15 pieces.
Right.
Wow, that looks menacing.
Yeah, and then we get into the whole robot attack, dude, which, like I said, it comes through about halfway through the film, so you get plenty of time with the character.
Tons of character development, man. You're so invested in them by the time this stuff that the shit hits the fan. Wow, that looks wow.
Cinematic, right?
Dude, that car movement is friggin' beautiful. I also love that it's AI. This gas station.
Yeah, the gas station.
Ah, shots fired, folks. Yeah, and this is the cool thing is because like the robot designs are super simple, but the personality and the malleability that they were able to get out of these because of the different applications of the way that they used effects and where they drew them from is really incredible. It really, really is.
Now, their tech bro, Steve Jobs wannabe, is pretty good, Mark Bowman, but nothing beats. Was it Mark Beeks from the DuckTales
Yes.
cartoon? The ultimate tech bro is Mark Beeks, like in the DuckTales 2017.
Although Eric Andre did nail the voice. I loved the voice, but
Yeah.
not the design. It's
good, but
Yeah.
Beaks is
Yep.
better.
Yeah.
PAL Labs. It looks like a PlayStation 5.
Oh man. Oh, see, and that's crap I missed because I haven't played a video game in like 25, 30. Oh my god, I'm old, Rob. Yeah, like 30 years.
And they would have had time. Okay, we didn't. Well, actually, no. This came out in 2021. Now this is all coincidental, but I like the Space Mountain style.
The designs for stuff in here reminds me of the stuff that you see out of the classic anime, where they put just so much thought into the look and the feel and the aesthetic of every single aspect.
Yeah, and it has to be intentional. You can't just button click and hope something comes up with something for you.
Well,
You know, like that. Everything has to be a decision. Everything has to be made. And the shapes of this affect. See this angular shape? Everything about the robots when they go bad has angles. Angles. Sorry, angles. Everything in the film before this has been very organic and circular.
yeah.
See? No sharp edges anywhere. You know what I mean? Everything's rounds, bubbles, right? And then you start to see this triangle, and there's all these little hidden. So the evil's hidden within, right? That's what they're doing there design-wise.
So freaking well done. And look at the usage of coloring and lighting. Everyone, like, everybody pay attention to this. This is what I'm saying when I say it's Lynchian. It's because, like, when you see certain colors in this movie after a certain point, or especially on your second, third, 10th watch, they really signify, like, emotional shifts and story shifts, man. Which is all bolstered by the design of the film, but really well carried out through the visual aspects of the colors, in my opinion.
Right, and in this case, you know, the interface is when it's good, it's blue, and when it's evil, it's purple and orange, and you can see that transition in their logo.
Oh,
Right.
Yep. Nice. And it's like hyper realistic because it reminds you so much of stuff that you see in real life, but kind of kicked up a notch or two. Like,
You know what this kind of reminds me of is Evangelion, when they would go underground and they had the pyramids, the nerve and everything. Yeah.
Man, see, that's so zen. Those designs are like so zen to me. I love them.
That's a very Evangelion.
That's what I was just looking at. That's like the third time we've seen that like design, and I like the like almost Ed 209 meets IG 88 guy on the end too.
That's some Ashley Wood kind of style robot.
Yeah, that okay. Yep.
Metal Gear with the Metal Gear and the Trash Bot. Was it Pop
Bot? Yep. With Sam Keith, guys. Go out and get it. Even if you don't like Ashley Wood, that's back when he was actually really, really painting. So I just love how like non-threatening the robots can be in this, because they just seem like they're not clunky, but they're not like menacing and horrific, and like they drew so much from Terminator, because Terminator is one thing that I kept seeing pop up in all of my research for this. And I love how you can see it come out later, but like the designs totally.
It's very Mega Man.
Yeah, those are definitely Mega Man arm blasters.
We want to help all humans.
Yeah, Hater really nailed that. I can't remember who the other guy is that does the other one, but yeah, Hater. Or no, it was Armisen. My bad. I'm sorry. It was Armisen, not Bill Hader.
Well, Peter Chan did some of these color keys too. Peter Chan, longtime LucasArts illustrator. I mean, if you've seen Day of the Tentacle, Psychonauts, you need all the background art and stuff on that.
Jesus.
Classical illustrator. One of the best ever.
Man, putting together a building like that is such a pain in the God almighty.
Their Best Buy knockoff is great, dude.
The
Good
interior of that is ridiculous. My God. how much time did you oh, that is friggin' beautiful to see. Because these are all like, they go in and look at it certain, they get attacked by like inanimate objects at a certain point, and like the attention to detail with being able to shift those from like totally non-threatening fridge to like a killer fridge is the
Roombot.
Roombot.
It's always fun.
Man, because that's, as a guy who grew up like Best Buying and like Circuit Citying, that is totally dead on. The mall.
Yeah, it's this is the kind of stuff I like to do, and people go, "Bro, it's just a lot of Easter eggs." I'm like, "No, that's the world." God, never mind.
Okay, well, I will complain for you because you're absolutely right. And
I actually have these layouts. I know this mall this is based off of. When I was first designing Game Cave in 2014, I did a bunch of art like this for.
Oh, really?
Because yeah, I have this thing. And then one of the initial drafts, I was gonna have this like mall that was like, instead of the stores, these are different video games you'd go into.
Oh, cool.
They just built this place like a mall.
Yeah, and the mall is the first place where I really realized like how much time that they had spent putting into stuff, because like the shift that happens in the mall when it's all lit up like this and inviting, and you can see all the stores and see inside of the stores, to 5 minutes later when certain things happen and the mall is dark.
It's not easy to simulate fluorescent white lighting and make it interesting.
No.
You don't realize there's lots of varied shades of yellows and greens and blues to have to go into that,
Yeah.
you know? Because since white is your primary value, I mean, everything else, it's trickier than you'd think from a color design
And it usually turns out so antiseptically dead. And this is not
right
at all. They really knew where to throw in those yellows and those oranges.
You ever seen some of the first malls built like in 55, 56?
Yeah, actually, I have.
When I was doing research for that Game Cave project, like, I mean, I was digging through them all, and like glass chandeliers everywhere, and like palaces, you know, like it was wild.
Yeah, like China still had like up until the late 70s, they still had some malls that looked like that, which was like a lot of where I saw.
There's your Terminator.
Yep. God dang, that's like so creepy looking too, dude. Oh, the Furbies. God, I love the Furbies.
When I was in the army, that came out, and I had a buddy named Mac and McKinnon, and he would only talk in Furbish on our days off.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
You're a good man if you kept being friends with him, Rob.
He's a good
Oh, cool. Yeah, and these are the guys, specifically, these are the guys that they implemented so much of the T1000 special effects technologies into.
This kind of bugs me a little bit, because this kind of design, I think they lifted from my buddy Nicholas Cole. He did a whole project on his own called Jellybots.
Yeah, the guy with the triangular head that was directly to the left. If you go read Tony McMillan's book Attaboy and tell me that doesn't look, the guy right next to him specifically too.
Isn't that Jack Kirby's?
Kind of like that, yeah, but it is very, if you read Attaboy, you know what I'm talking about, guys. And if you haven't read it, go out and check out Tony McMillan's Attaboy.
The mall becomes.
Oh, that would have been so damn cool.
This is Bill Otomo, right?
Yep.
Bill Otomo? No, it's Fabian Mentz. Otomo's the other guy that's with.
Oh, okay.
We've covered their art before. I always get like, because yeah, he has a very Otomo style. This Fabian Mentz is from Ankama, so if you know like Dofus and stuff.
Okay. Stuff I'm peripherally familiar with.
It's very distinguishable once you know it. Yeah.
Jesus, cool. Dude.
I know, right?
Man, that is
bigger scale than half the Transformers.
I was just getting ready to say, and like, why didn't we get a Unicron like this, guys? Damn.
Michael Bay.
Oh
Hey, don't worry, they're bringing them back. You get to have more Transformers from.
yeah, that's what I
But
was.
see, now they're full triangles. They're full, polygon.
Yep, and this is where they had to integrate all of that separation technology from the T1000, which tells you how good that they got that. And what was that like?
Yeah, but the head and the body thing comes from Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Like, they're just not saying it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that, but I probably would have grazed over that because I'd have been like, what? The mother has gone crazy. The Dark One is here. When Linda flips, that's my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah, it does a good job story-wise of taking you to a point where you think, how far can it go? And it keeps going. The best Brad Bird movies kind of do that.
Yes.
Like Ratatouille is a great example of like, it takes the premise and then solves that by the end of Act 1. And then you have like this next premise that normally would be a whole movie. And they solve that by Act 2. And then Act 3, you're in a different, and this does that kind of storytelling perfectly. I mean, we're in a totally different world than what we opened up from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like if we go back, I mean,
that's so crazy. Wow.
So just visual design wise, folks, like you want to make sure your beginning and end does this sort of thing. Couldn't get further from it.
You're literally being transported to another world, which is like and another thing about this is that there was supposed to be a collision of different like realities. Like all of the evil technology is supposed to be from another dimension, and then it runs into our dimension. So like that's something that I think they really laid heavily into. I'm glad they didn't do it, but you can see it visually lingering, you know?
Sure.
Sorry, I keep getting lost in all of this stuff. I'm like, I just really want to take all of this in.
This is an excellent book. And if you're trying to design your own comic, your own anything, and you want to go through all of the phases of production, this has pretty much all of it there.
This is really well done. It's still in print, I assume.
Yeah, cool, it's still in print.
Some of these go in and out of print so quick, man. I assumed with the new sequel that they just announced like this month. I don't know when you guys will be seeing this, but in October of 2025, they announced a sequel to this. So I'm super, super stoked. God, please let them do justice to it. And this is a good shot of like the Katie Vision stuff, where they integrated like actual flat images into the animated style and stuff.
Right, and photographic.
Yeah, flat. And like
remember in the way that Princess Luluco did, right? Remember when you complained about that?
Yeah, but these guys, in my opinion, this does it right.
Yeah. They were making a budget show. I mean,
I'm not. Hey.
That did it right too.
Okay, Rob.
Not everyone gets $100 million to see their vision all the way through.
Let's not get into it. I love Mask of the Phantasm. It's okay. We can disagree, bud.
They could step it up visually.
Oh, see, and you got to take the it's not everybody's making 100, but they could have done better. I'm coming to the house.
Look what they spent on Quest for Camelot. Look what they spent on Quest for Camelot. Spend it on Batman.
Coming to the house. Oh, yeah. For anybody who wonders why I keep making that noise, go watch the movie and you'll understand.
And we're out. That's that. Good time.
Such a good movie, man.
All right, Uncle Jerk. Anything else? We miss anything? Ready to go?
Yeah, guys, seriously, if you liked Gravity Falls, if you've got a kid between, I would say, like 7 and maybe 12, or if you are a parent that is feeling like nostalgic and like your kid is getting ready to move out, go watch this movie. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Netflix. It has been consistently at the top of their streamed animated movies. This is one of the few times where I can understand why. I'm not bullshitting you when I say I actually choked up when I watched this movie. I really, really, really love a lot of these characters. They're very distinct, they're very unique. And this movie, not just visually, but like just from the feeling of like coming from the 80s and road trip movies, knocks it out of the park. I haven't been this excited to sit down with Rob and get to talk about something since we talked about Meglia. So that should, or Meglia. So like that should really tell you guys something.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's a fantastic film. It stuck with me. I'm fully impressed myself creatively, you know. And I'm like, it's one of those few times I see a problem. Like, I would get along with everyone on this project.
Yeah.
This is in simpatico. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to learn a whole new bag of tricks if I got, put on something like this. So it's absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend the book. And we will again be bold.
Keep cartooning.
What's up, crafties? Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to find out more about my art, who I am, and where you can get some commissions and stuff, you can always go to Sketchcraft.com. Sketchcraft.com has my full portfolio, as well as my store, as well as my newsletter, which if you sign up, you'll be the first to know when my commission slots are available. And if you're interested in a commission, please check out my How to Commission Me slot page on the old Sketchcraft.com. There, you'll see some examples and pricing. And whenever I am available to draw you a commission, you'll be able to purchase that right there. You can also be sure to check out Uncle Jerk, over at Jerk Comics on YouTube, and then Jerk Comics on Instagram and Facebook, as well as his Patreon. And lastly, folks, if you want to support me, you can always pick up a copy of Spawn Kills Every Spawn, the trade paperback, available now at Amazon and in stock. And man, just about everywhere they got a trade paperback, you're going to be able to get one. My nephew picked up the last one in his comic shop. So if you want to check it out, Spawn Kills Every Spawn, buy a copy, leave a review somewhere meaningful like League of Geeks or right there on the Todd McFarlane socials. You'll be supporting me, and I will be giving you the biggest high five. See you on the next show, folks. Peace.